There's a specific kind of fear that only comes from living paycheck to paycheck. It shows up at midnight, when the apartment is quiet, when your phone is face down, when your brain is loud, and suddenly your whole life feels one bad notification away from collapsing. The check engine light doesn't feel like a light. It feels like a countdown. A weird noise from the fridge? Not an inconvenience, a possible financial ambush. A sore tooth? A threat. That's where people who've never lived this way don't understand. When you don't have savings, every small problem arrives dressed like a life catastrophe. And that changes you, not just your bank account. Your posture, your breathing, your sleep, your relationships. Because when you're broke, money is never just math, it's atmosphere. At the grocery store, you're not casually comparing brands. You're doing mental math with the intensity of an air traffic controller. Name brand pasta or generic? Chicken this week or eggs? Can I afford fruit, or are we pretending toast is a complete personality now? That sounds small, but it isn't. Because those choices cost mental energy. And when your money is always tight, you're always making defensive plays. You're not asking, what would improve my life? You're asking, how do I avoid disaster until Friday? That's a totally different operating system, and that operating system is exhausting. People think poverty is just not having enough money. No, it's having your attention hijacked all day long. It's decision fatigue in its purest form. Chronic money stress doesn't just hurt emotionally. Research shows it physically changes how your body carries stress over time. That's why living paycheck to paycheck feels like being under attack by normal life. And then one day, if you stay with it long enough, your bank balance changes. Not to 1 million, not even to 100,000, just 5 figures. $10,000. And if you've never seen that number in your own account before, let me tell you something. That moment is a masterclass. Not in investing, not in budgeting, in identity. Because the first time you see 5 figures, something clicks that no motivational quote can teach you. You realize money is not only for spending. Money is for space, breathing room, reaction time, options, dignity. Before 10,000, a car repair feels like a moral crisis. The mechanic says it'll be $1,200, and your stomach drops through the floor. Do I put it on a credit card? Can I borrow from someone? Do I delay rent? Do I Uber to work for 2 weeks and pretend this is a plan? Now compare that to after 10,000. Same mechanic, same repair, same stupid Tuesday. But this time, it's a mild annoyance. You still think, great, fantastic, love that for me. But it is no longer a disaster. That is the shift. Then here's the key. The power is not in spending the money. The power is in knowing it's there. You don't need to touch it for it to change your life. Its existence changes your life. Because uncertainty shrinks. And when uncertainty shrinks, you think better. You negotiate better. You sleep better. $10,000 also gives you something rare in the outside world. Walking away money. Maybe not quit your job and move to Portugal money, but enough to not radiate desperation. In the job negotiation, the person who needs the offer by Friday has one energy. The person who can survive without it has another. One says, I hope they pick me. The other says, let's see if this is a fit. That's not arrogance. That's calm leverage, and people can feel it. Bosses can feel desperation. They can also feel when someone isn't quartered. Now, let's have some real talk. A lot of people look rich and feel trapped. Beautiful kitchen, no margin. Nice car, no peace. Luxury apartment, one missed paycheck from panic. That's not wealth, that's expensive captivity. The whole point of the first 10,000 is that it starts separating appearance from actual stability. You may not look richer, but your life gets stronger. Quietly, powerfully, for real. And that's the biggest change of all. It's not the number, it's the identity shift. You go from being someone who struggles to save to someone who has money. Read that again. Not someone who had money once, not someone trying to save, someone who has money. Once your brain accepts that version of you, Your behavior changes to protect it. You become less reckless, less reactive, less available for nonsense. You stop seeing yourself as someone constantly being rescued by luck or the next paycheck. You become the rescue. Now, the brutal math. Most financial emergencies that destroy people are not exotic. They're boring. Car repairs, medical bills, a busted appliance, the gap between jogs, the bad mud that turns into two. The Federal Reserve found that a $400 surprise expense is enough to destabilize a huge share of American adults. That's how fragile the baseline is for millions of people. So what does $10,000 do? It doesn't make you invincible, but it makes you effectively immune to the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle in a way most people never experience. And just normal emergency is no longer automatically converted into debt. A delay is no longer a crisis. A surprise is no longer a collapse. That is freedom. Not yacht freedom, not private jet freedom, real freedom. The freedom to absorb impact without breaking. The freedom to make decisions from logic instead of fear. The freedom to say, this sucks, instead of, my life is over. Your first $10,000 is not just savings. It's a new nervous system, a new standard, a new identity. It's the moment life stops happening only to you and starts happening with you prepared. So if you're on the way there, don't minimize it. Don't let social media make you feel small because you're not talking about millions yet. That number changes lives. Not because it makes you flashy, because it makes you safe. And safety becomes confidence. Confidence becomes choices. Choices become a different life. Because for the first time, money stops being a threat and starts becoming protection.